Hello guys, so today I'm going to help you to make one more solution to a real life problem using MCP, a Model Context Protocol. First, let me introduce the problem. Imagine you're working in a team with 5 people using the same Google Drive. Now, one of your teammates makes an update on the Google Drive, but rest 4 of you have no knowledge about it and keep working with the previous version of the document or data. So this is something unwanted and ideal. Whenever an update is made on Google Drive, all 5 or 4 of the team members should know about the update so that they can work accordingly. So that is a problem we're going to solve, and I have made a tool called MCP Google Drive Update Notifier. Okay, so first let me just give you a brief introduction about MCP. MCP, also known as Model Context Protocol, acts as a wrapper on top of LLMs. Earlier, what used to happen was to perform any functions with LLMs on Google Drive, GitHub, Slack, or any other tool. You need to have separate codes, functions, wrappers just to do that. What we have done right now is using MCP. All these functions get integrated directly into one server, and we can just use LLM to call that one server, which itself performs all these functions for us, and we don't have to write the separate code for it. So it has made coding easier for us. Yes, so let's come back to the project, and I will tell you how to set up the project. So this is a high level flow of a project. Whenever there's a change is made up on Google Drive, a trigger is enabled. That trigger tells us that okay, a Google Drive has detected some change. So that pushes that change to the Compose channel, which linked to a FastAPI webhook, uh, forwards it to a code which summarizes the changes and sends a Gmail and sends an email to all the users we have specified in our code. This will make much more sense when we go through the code. For now, just take a high level overview of this. Let me get back to the Git repo. Okay, so we will be sharing the link of this Git repo with you guys. So, okay, coming on the top, the architecture overview. Google Drive. Whenever a change is detected on Google Drive, Composer triggers. It sends a payload to the fast API endpoint. The endpoint calls the summarize changes function, which I will show you. This function summarizes or detects the changes or like frames it in a proper language, which we then use our LangChain Gmail MCP agent to send to a to send the email to the users we want. Okay, so first to enable this project, we need to go to the Composio dashboard. As you can see, there are a lot of integrations, around 300 integrations Composio allows us to make. So we will be needing 2 of these integrations right now. Okay, let me just refresh it. We'll be needing to use 2 of these integrations right now. Yeah. So one is this Gmail, and the other one is Google Drive. So setting up the Gmail integration is very easy. You just go here, you click on the setup Gmail integration, and you just write down the email you want to set up the integration with, and integration is done. Yeah, like you have set up the integration for Gmail. Okay. If I go to the integrations, you can see I have these integrations set up: Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Drive. Okay, for different accounts. Then we come back to the Google Drive app. Let me just go to the app. This is where things get a little bit tricky. So the thing is, we want, as you can see, it lists all the actions we can perform on our Google Drive, starting with the Google Drive changes trigger. So this is the code we're concerned with. That wait triggers. So this triggers when changes are detected in a Google Drive. So this is what is being used in our project. So what happens is, for this to work properly, we need whenever we are making the integration, we need to give proper permissions to it so that it can access the whole data of a Google Drive, so that it can detect the changes. So when we do try to do it from the normal steps from here, it does not gives that permission and it blocks them. So we need to take a workaround and follow, like, make a your credentials using Google Cloud Console with appropriate permissions so that we can use this integration properly and complete our project. So I have listed down all the steps you need to do. So first you go and choose a project. As you can see, I have like in the Cloud Console, I've already selected my project, Compose Your Drive Authorization. So first step is to go to enable Drive API. Okay, so this is my Cloud Console. Let me just go to the home page. Yeah. So you just go to API and services, then you go to enable API and services. Okay. When you go to enable API and services, you can see Okay, you can just see enable API and services. It's a very easy process. You do this from here. You can just click the Google Drive API and it would be enabled. Okay, I have already done that. As you can see, it's enabled. Second step, just go to the OAuth consent screen. Go to overview configure. Okay, so you go to enable API and services. You go to OAuth consent screen. Open this for first time. You will get a prompt to set up the this app. You just set user type external, give an app name and logo. That's the option. Okay, then you go to data access scope. You just go and add, click on add scope. Okay, and just type in this URL, copy and paste this URL. Okay, I've already done that. As you can see, the scope is added over here. Then you go to sensitive scopes. You can see click confirm. You go to test users. Okay, data access. You can just audience. Yeah, audience. Just add users. I've already added 2 users over here. Okay, so clients and create client. Okay, as you can see, you can go and click on create client. It will you once you create the client, you will get the client ID and secret that you need to save. That will we will use later while creating an integration of Google Drive in a Composio platform. Once this is done, go to your Google Drive integration. Okay, over here, just click on set up Google Drive integration. Okay, I have already done the previous step, so it is not showing me. Okay, just click on new integration. Then you go to set your own user own developer app, put in your client ID and client secret over here. Okay, you put your client ID and client secret, copy the scope and paste it over here. Once you do these steps, you will be able to create a Google Drive integration like this. Okay, then we come to our yeah okay yeah then we come to our project. So next step is to set up a project. You can just git clone this repo, set up an VNV, install the requirements.txt file. Then in your .env file, you need to put in 2 variables: compose your API key that you will get from the compose your platform, and notify emails, a list of emails that you want to receive the update notifications. Okay, next step is to execute the file python mcp client.py. So what this file does is, the role of this file is to connect our trigger with this code base. Okay, to set up that trigger. So wait, let me just yeah. So when we were at integration, right? If I click at the Google Drive integration and I go to triggers, I want to enable this Google Drive changes trigger so I can detect the change, right? I go here and I click enable trigger. So now triggers enabled. Now we need to set up that, like connect that trigger with this file. So by running this code, if I just run this code, you will see success printed. Trigger state success. Cool, right? So next step, uh, yeah, next step. Okay, so next step is to so this command is run to FastAPI project, and this is to set up an ngrok tunnel. So why do we need an ngrok tunnel? That is so that we can connect a local code base with a Composio dashboard. So whenever trigger detects a change, it can route it back to this code base, and we can continue with our use case. So you see, I just pasted that command. You need to copy this URL. Wait, you just copy this URL. Yeah. Then you go to the Composio dashboard. Yeah. You come to the Composio dashboard, go to the settings, events and triggers, and you replace slash before the slash webhook part with this. Okay, and then you just save and update. So now your Composio dashboard and local code base are listening on the same port, right? So I will just go and copy this to run a fast API project. So fast API project is in so now project is up and running. So let me just, so this is a drive I have uh, set up the MCP on. So let me just go to this folder and let me just create a new file. Okay, let me just go. Okay, rather let me just upload a file. Okay, let me just go and upload this file. file is being uploaded. Okay, so we have made a change in the Google Drive. So ideally, it should detect and send us an email regarding the same, right? So our trigger has been executed, and code is executing. It is sending a mail. Okay, let me just check my mail. Google Drive favor updated. It tells me the following file changes were detected in MCP tester file. So see how now whenever a person like a team member of your team changes or makes some edit in the Google Drive, you will every member of the team will get notified that okay, an edit has been made, and you will get alerted to use the newest or latest version of the project. So this resolves the ambiguity and helps. So this is where our project gets complete. Hope this helps you.